Hello everyone, this is Derek with Reef Automation. This is part 2 of my review of the toggle box by Harry's Aquatics, and I'm going to go over the programming of the box and also show you some things that Harry sells and makes. So getting started, this is the toggle box. It has 6 discrete buttons here, and we're going to go through how to program them. So this is the layout of the box. As you can see, the larger ones are 1 and 6, and the middle ones are 2 through 5. So to get to these, this is what you do. You go to your apex, and the easiest way I find to go to it is the little thermometer looking icon. And you're going to go down to SW on your apex. These are going to be labeled SW1 through SW6. Now I'm using 1 and 6 for something, so I relabeled them. But this is what they'll look like. You'll click on them. You can label them whatever you want. You can label them button 1, button 2. I believe I labeled them button 1 and button 2. But anyway, that's how you get to the switches, and you can label them. So they are labeled currently, like I said, SW2, SW3, SW4, and SW5, and this is how they work. So let's say you wanted to program a feed mode, for example. So you'd go up to here, you'd make a virtual outlet, which I've already done, and we'll call it Reef Feed. Okay? So to make a virtual outlet, you go over here to virtual outlet, right here, add a virtual outlet, and that's how you make a virtual outlet, and it will show up in this list right here. So this is our virtual outlet Reef Feed that I've labeled. So how this works is once the switch is pressed, and what you have to make sure of is that you press and hold it for 2 seconds, it will close. When it closes, it'll activate whatever you'd like it to activate. So for instance, in this case, if switch 2 is closed, then on. Now I have a defer of 15 minutes here and then turn off the Reef Feed. So what this is going to do basically is once I press and hold switch 2 and close it, even though it's a momentary press, it'll stay on for 15 minutes and then will shut off. So while it is on, I can have my system do whatever I'd like. So for instance, if I go over to my reef pump, you will see I have an outlet if output reef feed is on, then off. So this is going to shut off my reef pump for 15 minutes, and it'll stay off for 15 minutes and then come back on. So that's how you do a momentary press of the switch. Now, it also has, as I showed you, 1 and 6, which are not momentary. They are on or off, or closed or open. So if you were going to use one of those, you don't even have to make a virtual outlet. You can just have it so the switch, when it's closed, do something. So for instance, I have my maintenance mode right here, which is right here, which I mentioned in my first video, and I'm calling it toggle, I believe. So if toggle 1 is closed, then on. So that means that my reef maintenance is going to turn on when I close the first outlet, or number 1 on this box. So if I go over here and I go to, for instance, my reef pump, you will see I already have a reef maintenance on, then off. So that's how you program the switch box. You can either do it as a momentary by using virtual outlets. You don't have to have a defer of 15 minutes if you just wanted to switch something on for a second or for a minute or for 2 minutes and then turn off. You can manipulate this amount right here to whatever you'd like. So that's how you do the momentary, and that's how you do the main switches. When you buy the box, they provide a manual here that explains how to do all the programming for different things, but it's basically what I just showed you. Also, if you go to Harry's Aquatics, he sells a number of other things. He sells brackets, he sells some different strainers, some trident clips, some dosing clips, some brackets. So he sells a number of different things, which is really nice for Apex program or Apex devices. Another thing about the switch box is he makes a couple different models of the switch box, not just the one that I have, but he makes different toggle boxes that have more switches, more buttons. If you contact him directly here, he can make you a specific box. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys how to program it. If you have any questions or concerns, just leave them below. As I've said before, I do live streams every weekend, and we typically are giving away Neptune products and other products. If you like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified when I do my live streams and when any new videos come up. Thank you again, and thank you, Harry's Aquatics, for the box. I really like it. It's helped me automate my systems a lot easier, and you can have multiple boxes if you have PM1s, as they have IOs on them as well. So you could have multiple switch boxes and multiple tanks if you'd like. So again, thank you again for watching, and any questions or comments, leave them below. Have a good day.